Robert Herjavec's story is one of the most remarkable journeys of grit, resilience, and determination, a story that begins far from the glitz of business success and Shark Tank fame, starting instead in the small Croatian village where he was born into a humble family that had little money but carried an abundance of hope. And when Robert was just 8 years old, his parents made the difficult decision to leave everything behind and immigrate to Canada in search of a better life, arriving with only a single suitcase and just $20 in their pockets. Forced to live in a basement with no financial security, no safety net, and no connections. And while most children his age were carefree, Robert grew up watching his father work as a factory laborer and endured discrimination and hardships. Lessons that taught him early on the value of persistence, humility, and sacrifice. Yet life was never easy for the young boy who struggled with language barriers, poverty, and the sting of classmates mocking him for his clothes and background. Challenges that could have broken his spirit, but instead ignited a determination to prove that where you start does not define where you finish. Though the road ahead was filled with countless failures and rejections, from being fired from his early jobs to being told he wasn't good enough to succeed in technology and entrepreneurship. But Robert Herjavec refused to let rejection determine his destiny, instead working multiple minimum-wage jobs to support his family while chasing his dream of entering the technology world. Teaching himself skills, applying endlessly for opportunities, and never giving up despite setback after setback, until his breaking point came when he was laid off from a company he had poured his heart into, left with no clear path forward and on the verge of losing everything. But rather than collapse under the weight of defeat, Robert saw failure as his greatest teacher. And it was in this dark moment that he found the courage to take a risk, launching his own cybersecurity company out of his basement with little more than a dream and an unstoppable drive to prove himself. Working endless hours, cold calling and knocking on doors until finally his persistence paid off and he landed contracts that would transform his small operation into a multi-million-dollar business. And the true turning point came when his company rose to prominence in the world of cybersecurity, eventually selling for over $100 million. A breakthrough that not only secured his financial freedom, but also validated years of hard work, rejection, and sacrifice. And from that moment on, Robert Herjavec's life transformed forever, as he went on to build the Herjavec Group into one of the world's leading cybersecurity firms, earning recognition as a global entrepreneur and later becoming a beloved investor on Shark Tank, where he shared his wisdom and invested in new generations of dreamers. But his success is not just measured in dollars or fame. It is measured in the powerful lesson his life teaches us, that failure is not the opposite of success, but the foundation of it. And that no matter how many times the world tells you no, persistence and resilience can turn that rejection into the yes that changes your life forever. And today, Robert Herjavec stands as proof that no matter how humble your beginnings or how many obstacles you face, with vision, courage, and determination, you can rise from the bottom to the very top, inspiring millions of entrepreneurs to keep moving forward, to embrace failure as a stepping stone, and to never stop believing in the possibility of turning dreams into destiny.